This week's podcast is dedicated to a very special person. Happy birthday, Serenity. This one's for you.
Bible plan to save the world. Just you wait till it's unfurled. It'll go down in history. It's prophetic. No, it's not pathetic. I can't
Hello,
believe
ladies.
I'm
Look at your podcast. Now back to mine. Now back at your podcast. Now back to mine. Sadly, it isn't mine. But if you had awesome people on my podcast like I do right now, it could smell like it's mine.
Alright, first of all, making my appearance once more, it is Louis Shadowwolf. Nice to meet you. Hope we can enjoy a good
I'm Arian. It's my first time joining this thing. I hope I do a good job at it. Not sure. I hope it'll be good.
That's right, and us player haters on this team have one thing in common. We were put up for copyright infringement for being strong enough for a man but made for women. Anyway, in other news, chapter 6... Wait, what are we up to now? 636?
36. Yep.
Wait. Oh, the James. You forgot something.
What?
The ritual with all the new guys.
Oh, right. Duh. So, Arian,
Yeah.
what do you do for fun? No, I'm just kidding. How did you get into the NaruSaku
Well,
fandom?
when I got into the NaruSaku, it was way far back in the promise of a lifetime. It was actually around that time where I started reading the manga instead of watching the episodes, and just that moment in general that Naruto was able to do that for Sakura really showed how much he loved her, and I saw it as his goal to accomplish getting Sakura's to reciprocate his emotions, and that just got me to keep going on with that, and it's just been development and development throughout all of Shippuden, so I'm glad I did it. So that's basically why that promise of a lifetime.
Yeah, true love is the goal when you have the poel.
That's cool.
Mm,
I admit that was kind of lame.
yeah.
Still, it's good for a laugh.
Yeah,
James is so
please.
stupid.
I didn't say anything.
I know you're laughing at me. I can see it in your eyes.
What?
I'm watching.
Uh,
Yeah, that wasn't creepy at all.
Are you speaking like?
Moving on.
that was just fine.
Yeah, let's go.
Chapter 636.
Well,
What?
is there like a certain topic we can talk about it?
Well, what we usually do at this point in time is break it down, scene by scene. So we have from the last chapter, 635, where it ended with a cliffhanger with Kakashi stabbed in the chest. And then, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la, it was again Jutsu.
Which a lot of people guessed.
It wasn't it obvious. So we have this bout still going on with Kakashi and Obito. And then Kakashi does his little monologue. Yay. And stabs Obito in the chest. For reals this time. For realsies.
Seems like everyone gets stabbed in the chest in Naruto.
Always the chest.
It's always the chest.
Never in the back.
Never anywhere else, just right in the chest.
Oh, right in the chest. Ah, my
Actually,
chest.
I really
My
like the
bloody
monologue
chest.
and the protect the old Obito, protect the past Obito. I really like that monologue. I don't know why, but like, Kishi loves parallels, doesn't he? Kishi's like in
Was
love
the
with
Pope a
that.
Jesuit?
Yeah,
The answer is yes.
which is why I fail to see why a lot of people deny it, since that's like what Kishi writes with all the time. but people don't like it.
Well, I think the problem was that the parallels were just theory, but now all these parallels are actually being confirmed,
Yeah.
and now nobody wants to believe it. Except for the people that actually believe they were parallel.
Yeah. Like, everyone is just denying them because every single parallel right now leads to Naruto and Sakura being together, and it's really causing fear with everyone. And it's literally causing them to deny what's right in the manga itself, since they are being confirmed.
Yeah.
What I never understood was the Hinata is like Minato thing. Like, where did it come up with that?
I have no clue.
Like, it was all over Tumblr. Like, I went on the day of the day chapter 631 came out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry I'm bringing up an old chapter, but like that day where the whole parallel between Kushina and Sakura got confirmed, everyone was going crazy that NaruSaku would be like Kushi, while Naruhina would be actually like Minakushi. It was sort of like really weird. Like, I don't know where they got that idea from. It was pretty silly to me. Like, what makes people think these things?
Well, it doesn't bother me that they think these things. I think it's a big more of a bother when, the manga says, no, it actually is like this, and they still deny it.
And then, yeah. Like, the only person that has ever been, like, in the manga compared to Minato has been Naruto, which, the fact that people are still denying this and saying he's like Kushina is sort of, I don't know, it bothers me when people don't accept what's in the manga itself rather than just give their own theories.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
But Kishi said this is this and blah, 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 blah. Well, Kishi is wrong. What?
Yeah, Kishi's always wrong. As long as
Wait, what?
totally not his manga. I ran into someone yesterday that called the Road to Ninja movie fan service.
What?
They called it straight up fan service. I really held myself back and tried not to get in a fight with them, but since when is a movie about the hero and the heroine fan service? I don't know. It's just, I think Naruhina's in the red zone right now. That's what I think.
You're not the only one.
Well, we haven't finished the chapter discussion yet.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
We kind of went off on a tangent there for a second.
What you
5
guys
minutes.
All right.
We'll get back to that.
All right.
Eventually.
So, Obito basically is dying, so he rage quits. He just rage quits from the battle, and says the most cliche line I always hear from villains: "You may have won the battle, but you have not won the war." And then poof, gone. Shows up on the battlefield, collapses, dying, and then we have Madara is like, well, crap. Oh well, we'll speed this up. And now he's going to do something with Obito. Obito started growing these spikes that you see that Pain had in half of his body, and all of a sudden Obito has no control over his body.
Black spiky.
Now, what people are theorizing in this one is they see him moving, and he's making this what appears to be a hand sign on the last panel. And they think they're not sure if it's Madara doing it or Obito trying to do one last ditch effort. What do you think?
I think just because of the fact that he thought of Rin on the last panel, I think he's trying to do one last thing to try to save Rin, to try to keep the Moon Eye plan going. And that's mostly based on the last page of it with the panels of Rin, I think. he realized that Madara's doing this to him, so he thought this is my last chance to do this. So I think he's just gonna try to go through with the plan right now. Not sure if it will fail or not. That's what I think.
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, if it is about the Moonside plan, then I think he might just let himself be controlled by Madara, no? However,
Well,
in this panel, I feel like he's really struggling.
Well, I think the struggle is like the spikes that are in him and like Madara trying to take control. I'm not really sure, to be honest, but I think he would try to go, because Madara's plan I don't think is the Moon Eye plan. I think his plan is to just rule the world at this point in time. That's all his plan seems to me. Like get back alive, get the Jinchuriki, and probably be invincible to beat. Not that he's not already that right now, but I think that's his plan.
He wants to be a living invincible being, not an undead invincible being.
He wants to be God.
Something like that. But I don't know. To me, I feel like even though he's being controlled in the right side of his body, he's actually using his left one to struggle. For what purpose exactly, I can't say. Because when I think about the Rin Tensei, I believe it only revives people up to a certain time span, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think he can revive Rin because Rin has been dead like a really long time ago.
But think about it. How long ago did like all the past Jinchuriki die that were revived and etc.? That's somehow like what I'm thinking. I'm not sure when a lot of those people died. What happened to them?
Well,
not sure if they died recently or they died like 10 years ago.
Yeah, but they were revived with the impure resurrection, right?
Were they revived with the resurrection, or were they revived with Kabuto's Rin Tensei?
I think it was with the impure one, because if it was with the Rin Tensei, then they would actually be they would have their will, to say it like that.
Yeah, it was Edo Tensei. But there is another thing that kind of contradicts it. The fact that Madara is trying to revive himself. I mean, how long ago did he die?
Yeah, exactly. That's what a lot of people are thinking too.
Well, that is true, though.
So, perhaps it's not, like, you can either, like, revive a whole bunch of people within a 24-hour period, or you could focus all your chakra into reviving one person.
Yeah, I was thinking, yeah. Thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, that could be possible.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good possibility of what might happen. And, like, I was really curious about this when we see the second last page of the chapter, when Obito seems to be really struggling. Half of his body's, like, being controlled. It seems half of his body is the black Zetsu and half of his body is the white Zetsu. Like, he is so pale in that one image that it just seems to me that he's both Zetsus combined together as one. I'm not sure if I'm the only one that, like, noticed that, but, like, he seems extremely pale.
Well, we do know he combined with that Toby manifestation.
Yeah. It's just like...
with that swirly. I call it Toby. I mean, that's not really what its name is. I call it Toby because it's the swirly face clone thing.
What's up with people wearing masks in Naruto?
Yeah.
It's not who I am underneath. It's what I do that defines me.
I'm really interested in Minato right now. I want to see how he reacts with this next chapter.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. We get a glimpse of Minato in this last page of the panel, so it feels like he actually wants to do something. If he will do something, we don't know, because he's currently busy holding the wall, you know?
Yeah.
And Naruto is also busy fighting the Yubi clone, so we might have to wait and see.
I just hope that there's at least some dialogue between the two, because Minato just met the reason why his son is an orphan. So I definitely want to see something going on there. I'm really interested in that. I hope something happens, or Kishi does something to give him some dialogue.
Yeah.
before Obito generally dies or whatever.
Yeah. And there's also the chance that Kakashi, like reappears on the battlefield too, so we can also have an interaction between them.
Look,
You know that.
Kakashi's definitely gonna return. He got stabbed, but he should be completely fine. That's the way I see it.
Who knows? He was stabbed in the lung though, or at least that's how I saw it.
Yeah, but a stab in the chest is what kills people in Naruto, not lungs.
I guess so.
It's always the way it's been.
I'm
So
curious.
cliffhanger after cliffhanger. Yeah, James?
Well, I'm curious of what. Okay, let's just say that Obito is trying. I'm not saying it's for certain, but let's just say, for all intents and purposes, Obito is trying to do one last attempt. What do you think he's gonna do?
Well, the only thing he can do is either try to revive Rin, as you said, like focus all his chakra into trying to revive Rin somehow, or to just try to go ahead with the Moon Eye plan. I don't see what else he could be planning to do because all he seems to think about all the time is Rin. So I'm not sure what else he'd be planning to do if he was trying to do anything else. Like, I don't really have a clue about it.
Who knows? Though, considering how, I don't know, this is just me, but I feel like in the manga, we might think things like too deeply, and when we find out, it usually turns out to be something simple. So I wouldn't find it too far-fetched if he actually revives Rin. Who knows? The regret is that he could not confess to Rin, so
Yeah,
maybe this will give him the chance.
I try to fulfill it.
What do you think, James?
Really? Not the whole trying to. But I don't think. I'm not sure how he would be confessing to Rin now if he revived her, since what is he in his 20s and Rin would be 13. I'm not sure that would just be awkward somewhat for me. But if Kishi tries to do something like that, I wouldn't mind it, and I somewhat wouldn't be surprised by it. I just wouldn't like to see it that much. It wouldn't interest me compared to where the manga is right now and like where all the action is. I wouldn't really be interested in seeing that confession because it's somewhere where Obito failed, right? So it's somewhere where Naruto needs to succeed in, generally speaking. Not sure.
Yeah.
That would be funny though, right?
It would get my interest for a while.
Rin. Yeah? I love you. Okay. No, Obito, you were supposed to save that for me! Dang!
Right.
Again! First it's Pain, now it's Obito? Crap!
Yeah. But then again, I'm not sure if age matters because if you remember, Madara died while being old, and now that he's revived the impure thingy, he looks young. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm really confused about that too. How was he revived in such a young state compared to where he was when he died?
Well, according to Kabuto, he did some kind of
It's
experimentation on him. Not really sure what he meant by that, but that's supposedly what he did.
Yeah, but think about this. Remember the battle with the undead Nagato?
Yeah.
Remember how after I think he absorbed Naruto's power and then he looked young again?
Yeah.
You think Madara could also pull that one out?
He could have.
I mean, maybe use the Rin Tensei and he will revive and look old, but maybe he were to absorb chakra, then he would look young again. And if he were to become the Jinchuriki of the Ten Tails, then he will have plenty of chakra there.
Yeah, well, he's somewhat. needs to be infinite chakra source in order to seal that Jubi inside him. Which is I'm really interested in how he will handle being able to be the Jinchuriki of the Ten Tails, because I know he has a lot of chakra, but you need chakra the amount that an Uzumaki has in order to be able to seal the 10 tails inside you. So I'm not sure how he would handle being the Jinchuriki, but I'm really interested in seeing it. But one thing I don't like is that it looks like the Hashirama and Madara fight is not going to happen. He just gave up on it, which is something I really wanted to see. The sexual tension between those two really interests me. Yeah.
Good Lord.
Oh yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to wait and see, but
Bow bow.
honestly, if Obito were to revive someone, then I hope it's someone that
Can have.
we're
Impact.
actually interested to see. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe
not
go on a
really.
limbo and revive Jiraiya, though he doesn't know him.
Hey
Yeah,
Minato,
because-
come here.
Just revive Minato.
Hey, I'm alive. Then Madara kills him. Ah, god damn it.
Ah, crap! You weak, pathetic fool.
Madara seems so bored with everything. I'm not even sure if I like him as a villain. He's just bored about everything he sees. No, this doesn't interest me. This doesn't interest me. Moving on.
I would be laughing if Madara has a Fist of the North Star ending to him.
What is that?
You created this world of chaos, killed so many people. I want to know why. I don't know. I was bored. I needed an opponent.
Yeah, it's
Seriously? Yeah.
he's just bored with everything. He doesn't care. He just wants fun, and fun to him is fighting.
Seal him in the
I
demon god
long
then.
for worthy opponent.
I'm interested in who the person that will die will be. Like
Huh?
at this point, since Kishi stated in an interview in Road to Ninja that there will be two major people that will die in the war. So Neji's been one that's already died, but then we had Tsunade that almost died, and then we had Kakashi that we thought might die, but they didn't. So who would be the second person that's gonna die? I'm interested in like who that person
$10
would
on
be.
Sasuke.
You know what? I actually really thought Sasuke might die, and I somewhat hope he still does because of just the way his character's generated now. It seems like Kishi did a full 180 on Sasuke and then brought him right back.
Yeah.
So I
360.
really want to.
That plot armor is amazing.
Susano armor.
Yeah, I really somewhat want to see Sasuke finally be killed, so all the Uchihas die. There goes the hatred they bring along with them. But that wouldn't bring like a happy Team 7, right? And I think the whole point of this story is like for Team 7 to be happy again somewhat.
Well, you could have a happy ending and still kill him off.
Yeah, but,
Naruto
like,
said he just wanted to bring him back. Didn't say anything about bringing him back alive. What? Am I right?
Yeah, but I'm not sure. I do hope he's the one that dies, but I'm not really sure if it will be the one that will happen. And I can't see Naruto and
won't
Sakura.
die.
So
I want him to die, but he won't die.
I'm just gonna go ahead and imagine Hinata throwing her body again in front of Naruto, just for.
What?
Oh, great! I gotta
killing
bleep
herself.
that one out.
This time for real.
Just for laughs.
That seems to be the only way she gets Naruto's attention, really. So I'll save you.
My body is ready.
Right.
I'm also really interested in what Sokka's thinking right now. Other than the fact that Sai blatantly told us what she feels, I want to know what she's thinking or what she wants to do.
Naruto?
Sakura. Like, I want to know what she wants to do about Sasuke. Because Sai told us what she's thinking. But
You
I'm
missed the
interested.
joke. Whoosh.
Oh.
You're like, I want to know what Sakura's thinking. Like, what does she want to do? Naruto?
Naruto.
Oh. Got it. I got it. No,
Yeah.
serious.
Am I pissing you off, Papa? If you know that reference, you get 10 bragging points.
The guy with the puppet, right?
Don't
Oh, yeah.
Just don't hum. So
I
anyway,
watched that guy in a lot.
I think I'm kinda
What do you
late,
guys think the
but
volume?
what?
Sorry? Anyway, go on.
You just asked something. If I'm thinking of what?
Oh, I was just thinking how you guys think the volume's gonna end. How Kishi's gonna end the volume.
I actually think that this was the final chapter of the volume, but I'm not sure.
I bet you he's going to end the volume with Madara actually coming back to life.
Or
Hopefully.
someone else. Or someone else that we will not expect at all.
Well, I think I don't know. I don't want Kishi to revive any more people that we don't know, man. Like he's revived enough people. Death is somewhat a joke at this point. I just rather it be Madara.
Well, still not as bad as Dragon Ball Z.
Oh yeah, you just.
I know everyone
And then
thinks that
something
show
we
is
can
so
expect to
great, but come on. Death means nothing in that anime.
It's like
Manga.
calling you just respawn.
Yeah, Goku just has respawn in 9 above his head.
Just endless respawn.
Oh. For the manga, not really endless, but still.
Okay, let's put it this way. If it will happen that Madara is not the one revived, who
Okay.
will you want to be revived?
Good question.
I'm trying to think this. Who's really died that would have an impact on the plot if he came back? You know what? Let's revive Neji.
Neji?
I can't think of. I'm pretty sure Minato's not going to get revived, so the only other person I'd really like is Neji because Hashirama gets revived, he's done. He can't be revived or else he's screwed. Because
Yes.
if he's able to die again, then Madara will just destroy him. Like at this point, at least he's somewhat of an infinite chakra source, so he can use that. But if he gets revived, that doesn't work to me. So we either need to see Minato or, but I have a feeling Neji's gonna come back for some reason. I don't know why, but this is my feeling.
I'm not sure about Neji. I mean, okay, I know people want Neji to come back, but don't you think bringing back Neji will diminish the whole 615 thing?
Yeah, probably.
You think that'll be a bad thing?
Significance towards it, right? Yeah, 615 had some personal development for Naruto alongside everything. Because, like, he's the one that always gets traumatized when one person dies, and he seems to forget the bigger picture at times. So I think for once there, Hinata did somewhat of a good job for bringing him, telling him what Neji wanted him to do. So, you know what? I give props to Hinata for doing that, but then worrying about Naruto's big hand over Neji's death sort of just destroyed all that for me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, that would be poor, like... Okay, we have 615, which is supposedly this big Naruhito moment that some claim it is, and it led to nothing. Wouldn't that be like pouring salt in the wound just to bring Neji back? Because it makes the whole point, like, that the whole 2 chapters, like, pointless now?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see the point.
And I know what people are thinking. Well, we should kill Neji off in the first place. Well, killing other people wouldn't have made that much of an impact. Killing Tenten or Shino or
Yeah, you need to kill someone that has significance. I know.
Yeah, that actually has like, well, you can't kill the main characters off for obvious reasons.
Where is Team Guy? I really want to see Rock Lee, but he's just not there.
Oh, yeah. I always wanted to see drunk Rock Lee one more time.
I personally enjoy his character so much. Like, he's been one of my favorite characters since the very beginning of this, since that fight with Gaara.
Yeah.
So it, like, bums me out to, like, not see him in there, like, not doing anything. Tenten, I don't even know what she does. I've never seen her really fight.
She summons weapons.
Yeah.
From scrolls.
Yeah, but we haven't even seen, like, the magnitude of that. So...
I mean, the closest we can get is the video games. I don't even know how close that is.
Well, the video game is probably not that close at all. Some of the ultimate jutsus in that thing are just weird.
I think
I want to talk about.
I think he's
Sorry.
either gonna bring, like, I don't know, for some reason, I could see, like, Kakashi, not, like, Kakashi actually dies and Obito brings him back to life, or he brings back Rin.
You know what I'd be interested in seeing somewhat, which is probably not going to happen, it's so out there, but if Kakashi comes back at the end of it when Obito's about to die, I want him to give his second eye off to Kakashi as well. I think that would be somewhat interesting, but not really sure about it.
That's gonna be weird.
Yeah, it's just something that came into my mind. Like, what if he does that? You know, he already died once. Might as well die a second time and do it again.
Put both eyes in my head. Oh, great! Now I gotta blindfold myself. Kakashi, the blind copycat ninja.
Good lord.
Aha, you can't see. Joke's on you. And then he drops dead after 5 minutes because it's so taxing on the chakra.
You know what would be funny though? Imagine Itachi being revived again.
Itachi?
Itachi?
Yeah.
Nissan?
It's like,
Oh my god.
what? This is like the
Sasuke
third time you've been
Fangirl
revived
Itachi.
already? This is like the 4th, 5th time you appear already?
Then he stabs Sasuke.
Sasuke doesn't seem to learn, does he?
No, he doesn't.
As much as he's gone through, he just makes the wrong choices over and over again.
I can't feel sorry for him, though. I just can't.
Yeah, I can't really feel sorry for him either. At this point, like, he chose his path.
I feel sorry for
like-
Obito. In fact, I think Obito's story is much better than Sasuke's.
Yeah, I saw a lot of reviewers actually hating on Obito, which is sort of like made me think, like, why are you hating on him so much? His character had more dimensions and more emotions towards him than Sasuke ever did. His story is actually more interesting to me.
And compelling.
Well, as I joked in the last podcast, are we sure Sasuke is not the copycat ninja?
Yeah.
I mean, whatever goals someone else has, he just copies those same goals.
Rebuilding the system, becoming Hokage, blah blah
I
blah
can just
blah.
imagine how much hate Kishi would get if he ever made Sasuke Hokage. Like, I don't even see that as a possibility. It's just like out there.
Okay, you could be Hokage of the Uchiha village, but there's nobody left. Exactly. You'll rule over nobody. You're a ruler of yourself.
Good God.
There were people with 635 that actually agreed with Sasuke's plan and they liked what he was doing. Like I got into a conversation with like some other people from the forums and they actually like seemed to be enjoying his plan. They thought it was a good idea. Like, I don't know why they thought. Seems whatever Sasuke does, as long as it brings him to the good side, they'll be happy with. And they think that plan will bring him somewhat towards the good side.
Right, not caring about what everyone else think. That will bring it to the good side. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's just going on a whim and doing whatever he wants.
yeah. He's a chaotic neutral.
He doesn't even know what he wants to do at this point. I think he's just
You
going.
can just
with
erase him
whatever.
and throw him again.
Like, is he really planning on killing Naruto right now? I'm interested to see how everyone will react with that when they find out.
Oh, Naruto deserves to die so Sasuke can be with Sakura. What?
Oh, a lot of people think that. The main reason why they thought Sasuke's plan was a good idea was the whole Sakura Sasuke thing.
Good God.
Which I don't even understand how that's a pairing at this point because it hasn't had any sort of anything positive towards it in the entirety of the second part, in the entirety of Shippuden. It hasn't had any positives.
You know,
So how,
I'm not sure how to express this, but I would really like to see evidence that supports these two pairings.
you know what? People can go ahead and actually give. Like I've seen some people give somewhat of a good argument for Naruto being with Hinata, right? But Sasuke being with Sakura, just there's no good arguments for it. Like the only thing that they have to argue with is that either Sakura loves Sasuke or the whole thing in the data book where it filled his lonely existence. That's the only evidence they have for Sakura and Sasuke.
And if Sakura's love alone, like, supposedly automatically makes them canon, what about Sasuke Karen?
Yeah, right? A
Who?
lot of people seem to forget about Karen there.
Yeah.
There's
like
also
she's
one
nothing.
thing. There's also one thing you gotta keep in mind. In the third data book, sorry for the noise in the background. I wish I could stop it. Anyway,
Yeah.
in the third data book, there's this chart that shows like the relationship between every character,
Yeah.
and we have, you know, like they put the different relationships: who's friend, who are rivals, who's master and student.
Yeah.
And there were actually two of them which caught my attention quite nicely. There's one of the lines which actually points Sakura to Naruto, and it says worries about Naruto.
Yeah.
And honestly, you could say that would be normally as friends, but honestly, you don't see any other kind of similar line in the whole chart. This is somewhat of a unique line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that.
Not sure if I'm explaining myself correctly, but the point is, it says Sakura worries about Naruto, and you see other points in the chart, and you don't see this being repeated again. Now, why do I say this? Because we also see that there's an arrow that points Sakura to Sasuke and says "in love with," right?
Yeah.
However, the very same line with the very same words is also pointing from Karen to Sasuke.
Yeah.
So can we argue that the love they share for Sasuke is the same kind of love? Who knows?
Well, Karen's actually had more interaction with Sasuke than Sakura probably ever had with him, which is what sort of gets a lot of people off and what a lot of people don't like, is that Karen's actually had more interaction with with Sasuke, and the only time I've ever heard Sasuke tell someone "I need you," which is really weird, was to Karen. Which I'm pretty sure that's going to be the end pairing on that end. But I'm not really sure how people see Sakura ending up with Sasuke.
The match made in heaven, though. He's psychotic. She's psychotic.
Yeah, and Sasuke's always had a thing for Uzumakis, right? Him and Naruto's relationship. Might as well find an Uzumaki.
Right.
Can you
The only
imagine?
thing that's
Could you imagine a Uzumaki Hyuga combo? Yeah, Children of the Corn.
right. Anyway, the thing is that it's not that it kills Karim, but it's just that I can't shake it off my mind is when Sasuke stabbed her.
When Sasuke stabbed
You know?
her?
When
Well, he
Sasuke
was
stabbed
about to.
Karin.
Well, he was genuinely about to kill Sakura too, so not
Yeah.
surprising there.
I guess.
A lot of people are like going on a whim saying at that point Sasuke was insane and he couldn't control what he was doing. So that's their way of justifying that.
Right. He hasn't regret killing Danzo.
Yeah.
He hasn't regret trying to kill Sakura. And yeah, it was out of his mind.
Yeah. You know what? At least he apologized. Something we never see Sasuke do. Apologize.
Yeah, and to Karin, no less.
Yeah. Did he
But
apologize?
what interests me is that
Go
when
ahead.
he came back to the battlefield, when he came back to the battlefield, a lot of people were saying, why didn't he say sorry to Sakura when he said it to Karin? And a lot of people argue that it's because he's in the middle of a war. So I'm like, okay, so he had time to announce that he was going to become Hokage, but he didn't have time to apologize to Sakura? Okay.
Yeah.
He just, I don't even think he cares about Sakura.
He said he doesn't care.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He says, I don't care what you think of me. To me, that right there says that Sasuke is basically saying, I don't want that life. I don't want to be in Konoha. I don't want to live there. I don't want to stay there.
He's only there basically for his clan and for Itachi. He's not there for anyone else. When he thought of coming back or like helping the village, all he thought about was his brother and his brother's word and etc. He didn't think about anyone from the village. So he's as selfish as a character as there is right now.
Well, at least one logic is consistent.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't say sorry to Sakura because it's in the middle of a war and he didn't have time. Oh, really? So it's like the same thing with Naruto not responding to Hinata's confession, even though he had the perfect time. But there's you can't confess your love in the middle of a wartime. Everything's just chaos. But as soon as 6:15 rolls around, oh, there's perfect time for love in the middle of a battlefield. That's what makes it romantic.
Yeah, and 631 gets brush off.
Hinata's rotated around romance, right? So every time I see a panel of her, I'm just imagining, oh boy, Naruto's coming up.
Hinata shows up on panel? Tell me more how she's deeply in love with him.
Right? She doesn't really think of anything else. Which is why it sort of like gets me sick of her character at this point. Like at the very beginning of Naruto, I don't know, I somewhat enjoyed that someone actually admired Naruto compared to like some people that didn't or thought he was lame. So I don't know, I somewhat like that, but then after a while it just sort of annoyed me. Like the confession, I was even somewhat okay with the confession, right? Even though it was a selfish thing for her to do, I was like, okay, I'll let this pass. But then even after that, over and over again, all we see is her thinking of Naruto, even though Naruto never even addressed her about it.
Yeah. Then she finally got this upgrade moment.
Oh man, she's better than Sakura now.
In what, the past two chapters? What was it, like 634?
Yeah.
Something like
It
that?
was 632, I think.
Okay, but like she had that moment where she actually like doesn't just think about Naruto, she actually thinks about Neji, and I thought to myself, too little too late. You should have been doing that in 615.
Yeah. The funny part is she thought of Neji in one panel, and then the rest of it was like Naruto.
Naruto-kun. Naruto-kun. Naruto-kun.
I don't know why that annoys me so much when she says that. It's just a
Ah,
lot of people love her innocent act. A lot of people really enjoy that, which is why she has such a huge fan base in America.
it's the boobs.
It's the boobs also. Go with that as well.
Right. So, mind if I say something quick?
Sure.
Make
It's
it
just
quick.
that I'm sure people are listening to this, but even though it may sound a bashing, there's actually criticism because we're actually talking about the things she's doing in the manga. We're not saying empty comments like, for example, oh, Hinata is wordless, Hinata this, Hinata that. No. We're actually speaking about the manga and about the chapters and how she has been reflected in this chapter. So, just so that they know the difference between criticism and bashing. Because this is a very thin line, so
Yeah.
I think it's really good to keep it clear.
And I wanted to like Hinata. I say it 100 times every single day. I wanted to like Hinata so much. Because I was like, she could do so much better. I mean, if she just get rid of the whole Naruto, like, stalking
Yeah.
or whatever, fascination, whatever you want to call it, she would be so much
What-
better. And she just doesn't get rid of it.
I actually might have actually liked the Naruto and Hinata pairing if they didn't have 3 significant moments throughout 636 chapters, right? Like, that's all there has been, and that's all there probably will be at this point. And the same thing with Sakura and Sasuke, where they had their time in pre-Shippuden, and then after that, it was just all downhill. And I think Kishimoto's at this point is just trying to close everything out. Right? It seems that he's moving fast and just closing everything out all at once. Like he brought that Sakura the Kushina parallel out of nowhere. Like it seemed like something you'd read in a fan fiction and then it just popped in the manga. It's literally, I think Kishi's really trying to end everything. Like I read something in fan fiction where literally Kushina got revived and compared herself to Sakura, and that made it happen. And it seemed like they just took it out of that and just put it in the manga this time. I really enjoyed it.
Now that you say that, many people when 631 came out, they were actually wondering if they were reading fan fiction.
Yeah, right?
Nope.
It had some sort of fan fiction element to it, but I liked it. It was about time that comparison got made clear. Instead of everyone saying Hinata's like Kushina, and then afterwards saying Hinata's like Minato now. So
Inato
Right.
says Sakura's Kushina. Your argument isn't valid.
But anyway, there's nothing about Hinata here in 636, so
Well, there's not really much
there
to
hasn't
talk.
been anything about her.
There's not really much to talk about in this chapter. I mean, it's
well, there is one thing I wanted to ask you.
and that is
This might be just for speculation. This is open. It can be true. It can be not. But in my opinion, I got a slight feeling that Rin kind of resembles Sakura in this chapter. What do you guys think about it?
that's a very good
Well-
question. What do I look for in a woman? Grace, beauty, intelligence. Okay, yeah, I'm just kidding. Yeah,
Kishi's like, they're generally the same team, right? Like, Kishi uses parallels in some sort of a weird way, right? He doesn't use it even personality-wise. He uses it based on what happened between the characters in what he's paralleling, right? So, in this, like, we see Obito, who is Naruto, who loved Rin, basically. And then we have Rin, who loved Kakashi, right? So that's basically how he's using that with being like Sakura. And Rin was also somewhat of a medical ninja. Maybe she wasn't that great as Sakura is now, and she never got to be. But like before she died, she was some sort of a medical ninja. So resembles Sakura in that sense too. There was a whole post like on Tumblr, I think, which got posted on the Heaven and Earth forum, which talked about how Kishimoto uses parallels, and it was somewhat really interesting.
yeah. It was supposed to be Palpita,
Yeah.
Paptala, I think.
Yeah,
Pala.
Paptala, something like that.
I'm very
Yeah.
sorry. I want to give you credit, but I can't pronounce your name.
I can.
I'll be looking for it. I'll be looking for the name.
You know who you are.
Yeah. So he uses parallels in a really good way. He doesn't even use it based on what they're like. He uses it on their experiences and what they've gone through, each individually.
Yeah.
Like, a whole lot of people could argue, like, yeah, it's Paptala.
Paptala, yeah.
Yeah,
Paptala. Paptala.
Yeah. So just like clean that out there. Even like the whole parallel between Kushina, Minato, and Sakura and Naruto was based upon the main fact that Naruto and Minato were the only people that actually complimented Sakura on her one and only flaw, and the fact that Sakura viewed Naruto as someone that was incapable of anything. Same thing with Kushina, who then they got changed by that person and got to believe something else in them. They got to believe that they were strong, just like Sakura and Kushina are at right now. That it was actually somewhat really interesting to see how like Kishi uses it.
Yeah. And despite contrary belief, there are no characters like Hinata.
I don't think there's ever been a character like Hinata in a shonen manga.
Yeah.
Is there?
Well,
So at least she's original.
how can I say it? In terms of personality, like Mo personality, I have seen a few in other manga. Yeah, I have seen a few in other manga, and I could argue that those other few have been better than Hinata, but that is a debatable point.
I actually, like James said, I really wanted to like Hinata, but her character is so one-sided and based upon one thing that it just got boring for me. Just looking at her panels, because it seems like the same thing over and over again, right?
Yeah. Look,
so
I think that what I don't like about her, it's not her personality. It's just that personality didn't change from part 1 to part 2.
Yeah. The personality didn't change, right? She was the only one that didn't really change that much. All right.
I'm not sure. Not sure. I feel like also Lee stayed true to himself. He didn't change. So.
Yeah, a lot of people's love is somewhat justified in this manga, right? Like, someone like Hinata, actually, like, you can love someone based on ideals like Hinata does. Like, I don't take away anything from her love like that. Same thing with Naruto. Naruto's liked Sakura in the beginning and has grown to love her based on development and spending time with her, right? Those are completely justified. But Sakura's love has never even been justified or addressed during the entirety of the manga, right? The only reason we know that Sakura ever loved Sasuke was for the single reason that he was the cool guy and that he was good at everything he did, right? And all the girls that were her age were going for Sasuke as well, right? So she thought, yeah, I can do this. I can become cool and love Sasuke. Now, the simple fact that she got on the team with Sasuke and therefore some sort of bond formed between them, if it was ever a bond. So that's what somewhat made it love for Sakura. And I don't even think, like, Sakura's confession during the end of part 1 somewhat was sort of genuine, but it seemed like it was rushed. It seemed like it was out of desperation because Sasuke was leaving and she thought that was her only hope of saving Sasuke was to confess. Much like what Hinata did with Naruto, where she thought like the only way she could do this, be with Naruto, is if she put her life on the line out there and just confess. So they sort of had some sort of the same confession.
Yes. I guess. When I think about it, yeah.
Interesting theory,
Sounds a bit
but I'm
similar.
not 100% on it. I'm not so sure. Good thought process, though.
I'm not so sure on it either. Like, sometimes I just like think of stuff and I blurt it out. Not really perfectly thought through, but they're thoughts nonetheless, right?
Hey, gonna make a good theory. You gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Oh, I saw. Sorry. Go ahead.
Don't worry. You go ahead.
I just saw an interesting theory out there that since Kishimoto's an artist, he wanted to find a way to put himself in the manga, and he used Sai, who's also an artist himself, to put himself in the manga. And he basically uses Sai to tell the readers what to think and how to see the scene and what's happening. And I found that really interesting and somewhat truthful. I'm not sure if the theory is true, but it seems to be. Like, everything backs it up.
Yeah. Well, if nothing else, I think Sai has become basically, like, if anybody's ever seen the Ghostbuster movie, he's like Winston. He's the down-to-earth guy who is, when the other characters are talking this smart mumbo-jumbo, you know, he's the one that takes the complicated plan, like, oh, we can use particles and expand and just expand the thing so it collapses on itself, like putting too much air in a balloon. Exactly. He's the guy that kind of relays it in simple terms, and he asks the questions that the fans are asking. So basically, he's either representing the artist itself, or he's the representation of the fan base that is Naruto manga.
Yeah. Yeah, he seems to, like, his character seems to talk directly to the audience a lot. I think you mentioned that before.
Yes.
Where he's just directly speaking to the audience, and it's somewhat interesting that that's the way he is used. And actually, the character that I thought might die that I never mentioned other than that was Sai. I think he might be the one that might die, because he can figure out Sasuke's plan and take action upon it, and therefore he gets killed. That's just a theory, but...
No. Please don't make Sai beat Boromir.
I like Sai's character, though. I like the way he was made.
I do, too.
For a guy with no emotion, much more complex than Sasuke.
For a guy with no emotion, he sure knows more than the actual characters do.
It's really interesting, yeah.
You know the one that I've been thinking? The problem is that right now I can't consider a reason to make him die. Either Guy or Rock Lee. I mean, we've never seen them open the 8 gates, actually. But the thing is, I can't find a purpose right now.
I think the only way I can see it is if Rock Lee opens that 8th gate, and I think that would happen because he's really mad at Neji's death, so therefore he might try to go all out, and it might end up killing him, but I don't see it happening. It's the only person I can see going 8 gates is Rock Lee right now because of the state that he's in, or the state that we saw him in the last time.
Yes, and we get the Neji Lee moment.
Yeah. Dude, Neji Lee's had more development than Naruto.
That's pretty sad.
Oh, goodness.
Honestly.
But apart from that, I'm not sure who else is gonna die. If there is someone else who's gonna die, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a question mark out there right now. I'm somewhat scared about it, but I somewhat want to see who ends up dying. And I don't think that person that dies will be revealed until the end of the war, right? I think it'll sort of be like Kishi's way of like pop surprise. As soon as you thought it was done, I'm just gonna kill this person.
Mm-hmm.
I still would not mind a Darth Vader death for Sasuke.
I wouldn't mind that either. Like, if Naruto somehow manages to get him to sort of be good again, and then Sasuke realizes all the bad that he's done and somewhat sacrifices himself, I wouldn't mind that either.
No, Sasuke, I have to save you. You already have, Naruto. You already have.
That wouldn't be that bad in my eyes, since I somewhat want to see Sasuke die, and it has no implications on any pairings that I want him to die, but it's just his character seems to be ready for it.
Yeah.
He seems to have all the things there for him to finally be able to die if he gets returned back to the good side and Naruto accomplishes his goal of saving his friend. Because it was never mentioned that he has to return him back to the village. The whole thing is for him to save his friend, right? So what you said there is somewhat true. Like, Sasuke would say, you already saved me. So that sort of like completes that, right?
Yeah. Just because you don't get the outcome that you wanted does not mean you failed.
Yeah.
It just means it didn't exactly the way that you planned it.
Yeah. I think Kishimoto might end the whole war on something that would like really catch people off guard, on something that no one expected would happen, and it just does.
Naruto dies.
Oh, I don't see that happening at all. I'm almost 100% sure he won't die.
And Obito brings him back to life. Somehow.
Well, at this point, it's near impossible since he's about to die himself.
I wouldn't mind a UT kind of pseudo dead though.
Yeah?
You know what I'm talking about? The Naruto UT OVA?
Yeah.
I
The
wouldn't mind that
2011 one, right? With Sakura on top, yeah.
though. Yeah.
Where everyone thinks he's dead, but he's not.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind something like that though.
I can see it happening. Definitely. I think
Point is,
there's gonna be...
people don't want it to happen because they want Naruto to actually win over Sasuke.
I have a feeling
last time he
that...
lost.
You know, there might be a point exactly like what was somewhat in the OVA, but except Sasuke can be damaged as much as Naruto is, right? Perhaps Sasuke even dies, and everyone thinks Naruto is dead too, right? Since, well, we're both going to die together. Thing. So Sasuke might die, and everyone might think Naruto's dead, but then it ends up that Naruto's actually alive.
Sakura becomes very upset, and instead of going to Sasuke's lifeless corpse, he goes to Naruto. She goes to Naruto's.
Well, that's sort of obvious at this point, that she's going to help Naruto. She's not going to help Sasuke.
Oh, you mean like what she said in 573?
Yeah.
Everyone keeps bringing up 540. I keep forgetting
540
573.
was regret. 540 was regret. 573 is determination. There's a clear difference between the two.
I'm sorry, I just hate that. Everyone always brings up 540 and go, why don't you never bring up 573? Why? I thought it was important, but you're blowing that off.
I don't know.
But it's really weird to me where like a lot of people in the Naruto fandom put Naruto's emotions on a whim and just don't care for it. They think he's just gonna end up being with or whatever. When he's the character that's emotions are probably not gonna change more out of every character out there. Right? It's pretty clear based on all the perils that attach to him and what he's been through with Sakura that his emotions aren't going to change just during a weak time, even if they were to change. So a lot of people put the main character, that's Naruto's emotions, out of the way for their pairing to somewhat have a chance, right?
Yeah.
Like the whole Sakura Sasuke thing, it's all Sakura loving Sasuke, right? And Naruto and Sakura, they've done so much for each other that's what really got me into them. It's just because love isn't built on just straight up romance. You can't love someone just on that. There needs to be more to it. So,
James, how do you say it?
What?
Development.
Development.
The build-up.
Steve Ballmer. Thanks, Steve Ballmer. But everyone's like, yeah, but you know, people always bring up the argument that Sakura and Naruto were friends since part 1, and I was like, yeah, they could have ended up friends in the beginning, but that doesn't mean it couldn't develop into something more. And even so, sometimes friendships make the best romances.
Yeah. The whole falling in love with your best friend.
After all, what is love but friendship set on fire?
Right?
That is strangely poetic.
Not mine, though. I'm not sure who said that, but it's not mine. So credit to whoever said it.
I'll put that one song in this podcast. We're gonna start a fire.
But there's one thing I love about Sakura at this
just
point.
Let your body take go. This is.
All right.
Is this love? Oh, or just sexual desire?
You want to go that far? Then just sing Sex on Fire. Yeah, your sex is on fire.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Johnny Cash. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 the flames went higher. And it burned, 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 that ring of fire. That ring of fire. Hey, I'm pretty good. I should make a record.
Yeah.
Here's James Cassidy with his greatest hits of all time. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Here's such classes as Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star.
Oh, goodness. Wise men say
Only fools rush in.
but I can help falling in love with you. Okay, enough. No more singing for me.
On that note, let's take a break.
All right, then. A break it is, then.
Ah, my leg!
My leg!
My leg! Alright, we'll be back.
Alright.
Mr. Anderson, welcome back. We missed you. Anyway, welcome back to the show. Now, before we begin, I just want to... Shut up! Not funny! I can't work under these conditions! I'll be on my trailer.
Good humor.
Well, before we go into the second half of the podcast...
Alright.
Alright,
I'm done.
Before we get into the second half of the podcast, I just want to let everyone know that, What? Why are you laughing?
Keep going, don't mind me.
Okay, well, I was gonna say that, Does anybody have any duct tape? Okay, anyway, NaruSaku for life, 3G, you know him. Yap, 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 yap. Anyway, he started his own channel now where you'll be able to go there and watch all his reviews of the chapters. I'll provide the link here. Blink! And there we are. If you want to check out his long reviews, which are probably going to be as long as my own podcast, check it out.
You alright, man?
These people.
Oh my god, I'm sorry.
Hey, it's not me, man.
I'm sorry. Oh,
Breathe. You done?
Yeah, I think so. Okay.
Okay, so... Wow, I focused so much on your laughing, I forgot what we were going to talk about.
I think we're going to talk about which other pairings in other manga.
Oh, right,
compared to Naruto.
right. There's not really much to talk about this week since really there's kind of a boring chapter compared to all the others that have happened. But, there was an interesting topic that people wanted to bring up, and that is what other like manga or anime that you may have seen has a similar setup like NaruSaku. So, what other manga and anime parallel NaruSaku? It's a parallel palooza.
I want to let Arian begin first because I want to make sure I don't suddenly burst into laugh again, alright?
Okay.
Okay, so the only couple, because I'm not really into that many other manga or have done that much research based on anything else, but Natsu and Lucy, basically, from Fairy Tales, remind me a lot of Narusaku just based on the relationship and the interaction that they have, because they're generally always together, and you have this one guy that's generally the badass, and you have the girl that always beats him up for being stupid about it. So that's generally the same sort of build up and the same sort of development that these two have together. So that's a couple that just sort of parallels them for me. You go on ahead.
Always with the fairy tale.
It's in Fairy Tales, right? Or is it? Yeah, it's Fairy Tale. I think.
Yeah.
I guess. Anybody want to confirm that one? Anyway, I hear a lot of
Fairy Tale.
I hear a lot of people talk about Fairy Tale. A lot.
I'm looking at it right now.
On this.
Yeah, a lot of people like it.
A lot on this.
Yeah, it's from Fairy Tale. Got it.
The one I think is pretty close is dang, I forgot her name.
Kaoru?
Is that it?
Which series it is?
Kenshin and Kaoru?
Yeah, Kenshin Kaoru. Ronori Kenshin, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Kaoru, alright.
Yeah, okay. So it's another shonen manga that involves an idiot but also badass hero and a tsundere who thought he was kind of a joke in the beginning but soon falls in love with him because she realizes how much of a kick-ass person he is. Now, she doesn't really fall in love with anybody else, at least I don't remember. It's been a while since I read the series, but how they just grow and grow and grow in this is a very similar relationship. He stays to help her. He does something stupid. She comes after him with a wooden sword. Hilarity ensues. But then there are also moments where she gets in trouble, where she gets kidnapped, and he goes and saves her, and then he becomes this total badass for like a good while, and then she actually sees how strong he is. He is the Batosai, the manslayer. And also a womanizer.
Yeah.
The man-slaying womanizer. You don't see that on advertisements.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a pairing that also and spoiler alert, they do become canon. It's a pairing coupling that actually I think is what I feel is close to NaruSaku as well. Simply because how it sets up and
That's cool.
Yeah.
Lewis?
Well, I actually have two. I think I have discussed these two in previous podcasts, so I think I'm just gonna address them quickly. The first one is, the manga Slam Dunk?
Oh, is that the one about basketball?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Wow, and how cool you know it's about basketball.
It's a joke. I actually make it funny and you don't laugh.
No. I laugh a lot previously.
Yeah, I've been trying to make a joke and you laugh at me. I give you gold and you do nothing.
Anyway, Slam Dunk. There's actually a love triangle in Slam Dunk.
What you mean a love?
There's the main protagonist, Hanamichi Sakuragi, who is really much a fool at times. There's Haruko, who is Hanamichi's love interest, and who you could say is a supporting coach for the Shohoku team, for the basketball team. And finally, there's Kaeda Rukawa, who's this really talented guy, really cool guy that all the girls fall for him, Haruko included. But he's only focused on his own goals, so yeah, one-sided too. Anyway, point is, I do have heard people saying that she actually has used this love triangle as reference. Whether if it's true or not, I will need help from the audience. If everyone can provide me some light in that, I'll be truly grateful. But
comments.
Yeah. Either in the
for anime couples.
Either in the comment section or PM me in the forum, whatever. Anyway, point is, as you see, as the manga progresses, there are gonna be spoilers, so I say this beforehand. Haruko eventually, like, in her own way, she realizes that Rukawa will probably never correspond her feelings back. So you could say that at some point she tries to let go of it. And even if the ending is left open to interpretation, we do have one scene before the ending where it seems that Hanamichi is actually confessing to Haruko. It is later clear out that he said that he loved basketball, but you could see her that she was actually blushing when he said that. So that could also be taken to interpretation. Point is,
I just wanted to let you know, I love the feeling of a smooth basketball in my hands as I dunk it into a hoop. Ah!
Goodness. That's not what he says, but anyway.
I know.
Point is, as you see the relationship between Hanamichi and Haruko, as the manga progresses, you see that they also develop this mutual trust, to say it like that. Which actually reminds me a lot of Naruto and Sakura and how the relationship has been progressing. Of course, we don't want this to be an open ending, because we have seen tons of development between Naruto and Sakura when compared to other... You could say that compared to the pair in Slam Dunk, they have even more development, but that's open to debate. Anyway, that's pretty much one of them. The second one is Love Hina, and I think everyone knows Love Hina.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I need to discuss
Kia might
this
be
one.
listening.
I said there were going to be spoilers.
You've
By the
been
way,
warned.
yeah, hope you're doing well, and well, I know high school is hitting you hard, but hey, you have a future ahead, so go for it. Anyway, Keitaro, Naru Sundari. I'm not sure if we can compare Naruto to Keitaro, but when you see how the relationship goes, it actually begins like Naru looking down on Keitaro, but as the series progresses, development, hints, situations, this and that, and well,
and lots
I
and lots
recommend
of
that
denial.
people. Yeah, I recommend that people read manga with sundry characters like Love Hina, like Full Metal Panic, because it actually gives. You can say that it helps people understand a bit of the behavior in Sakura. Because I feel like in Western civilization, they really criticize a lot the fact that Sakura is being, in quotation marks, violent towards Naruto, when this is actually for comedic effects. So
Yeah.
things that people should read. Read a bit more about Sundari and about how a Sundari like changes during the course of the manga. And I think Love Hina actually portrays this pretty well. I mean, Naru is not the top Sundaries when I look at different polls and stuff, but in my honest opinion, I feel like Love Hina portrays the relationship between Naru and Kitaro really well in terms of Sundari. And well, he won the best manga of 2002, so it's worth reading.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And yes, she does hit Keitaro more than Sakura has done in the entire manga.
Oh, tell me about
One
it.
volume contains more hits than
Than the whole manga of Naruto.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she hits him for everything. You want to talk about domestic abuse? This is it. He gets hit for stuff that isn't even his fault at times.
In fact, he gets hit so often that, spoilers again, even after they get together, whenever they try to be intimate, she hits him.
Yeah. That's okay, because
And
Keitaro
they're
is
like, why hit him?
indestructible.
Just a reflection. It's a reflection already. It became a reflection.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I mean,
speaking a bit, again, development.
yeah.
Yeah, James, you're gonna say something?
Well,
like that?
I was just gonna say that we are aware that Love Hina is a harem
Mhm.
and not really a shonen like Naruto is, but we still think the point still stands.
Indeed.
A lot of people don't really realize some of the elements in shonen that a lot of writers use in order to portray something, such as the whole tsundere concept, where the person's always beating up on the main character, basically, but then she grows to sort of like that person and sort of soften up to that person, just like it was pointed out by Sai with Sakura to Naruto.
Mhm.
A lot of people don't tend to realize that and just think of it as an abusive relationship of some sort.
Indeed.
Mm.
And that's why I think that people should do like research on sundaries and stuff,
Yeah.
because people from the Western culture have to keep in mind. Oh, sorry, I kind of misspelled that word. Culture. People think that the manga is like developed in the Western continent when this is actually a Japanese manga. So we have to have an insight on Eastern elements.
Yeah.
Basically, if
We've already discussed this in previous podcasts. James, I think you can provide some insight on it. You're better than me.
I'll sum it up briefly. If you read a manga with a Western reading curriculum, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah.
It is interesting that you bring up Full Metal Panic, because that also has a very similar structure. You got
Sosuke Cigar.
yeah, you got Sosuke, who
And you got Chidori Kanami.
yeah, you got Sosuke, the bumbling idiot hero, who was also a badass. You got Chidori, who is the tsundere, and then you got Tessarosa, who is the sort of the moe love interest.
Mhm.
You know, so it's almost like the Naruto versus NaruSaku versus Naruhina pairing war debate.
Yeah.
Guess
There is
how
one
it
diff-
ends.
There is one difference though.
And that is?
Sosuke clearly shut down Tessa.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it wasn't clear. Any clearer it couldn't be. He like literally shut her down.
Yeah.
She hated
Well, I
him.
have a feeling he might still shut her down, Sasuke.
She sure got pissed off at Sasuke for that one. But then she learned to accept it.
Can't remember right now, but yeah, she was pretty much destroyed.
Well, she hated him for a while.
Yeah.
But then she learned to accept it.
Yep,
Well,
yep,
the
yep.
acceptance thing goes with Sakura as well at this point.
Well, actually,
Well, I think
if we're gonna cycle this back in, it would be like, well, what if Naruto straight out rejects Hinata's feelings, like straight up?
I don't think Naruto's the kind of character to like literally straight up reject her. I think it would be sort of the kind of thing that she's like, I can't give you a chance if I don't give myself a chance thing. Not much of a no, I don't like you. We're done, or something like that. Naruto's like kind or too genuine of a character to straight up shut down someone like that. I think he would be more genuine about it and like at least tell Hinata that he loves someone else. Right?
Right.
It wouldn't be a straight up shutdown that I'm not interested in you. It's just that I love someone else.
Right, but
Right?
people would believe that Hinata would just shut down. Like she can't live without Naruto in her life.
She can. But she just the fact that she idealizes him
Yeah, this
as this great person.
is kind of ironic. Like we don't like Hinata. Well, I don't, and Arian doesn't. I can't speak for the entire NaruSaku fan base, but we don't like Hinata, but we respect her enough to know that she can live a life without Naruto.
But she definitely can. Yeah. Because she gets to the point of realizing how Naruto feels himself and maybe coming to a conclusion with her own emotions about Naruto, she would easily be able to live on without Naruto. It's not like they had much of a personal bond to begin with in the first place. For it to like just all of a sudden end, right? She can still idealize this character without wanting him romantically in her life.
Not according to some fanatics. Hey, I'm just saying the truth. Take it as you will, but it is true. Truth hurts, but it is true. Some people actually believe that Hinata's going to commit suicide because Naruto isn't going to be with her. I've seen people actually say that. And it's kind of silly because it's like, oh, well, you don't really care if Naruto loves Hinata or not so long as he bees with her. Yeah, that's not a healthy relationship.
And then
just
go on a rampage and go light the torches, bring the force, and go and kill Kishi.
Quick, Minato, save us! So...
yeah, that concept has been pretty much discussed.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to discuss? We'll make it an open forum on this one.
Since we are sort of like a pairing podcast, there's like recently there hasn't been anything pairing wise to discuss that hasn't really been touched upon much, other than Sakura Smile, which I feel like already has been touched upon somewhat, which got a lot of people confused for some odd reason. I don't believe why. A lot of people are confused about her smile. Like, I think you had to address a couple people on the Heaven and Earth forum of what was meant by that smile and how it should be taken compared to how they were taking it. Am I correct with that?
Yeah, it was more about, like, why some people are confused by that scene. It's like, I got it straight away. Even with the typo and the translation, if there is one there, I still understood the scene quite perfectly. And
Yeah.
but you have people freaking out like, oh, what does it mean? How could she be sincere in her words but have a fake smile? Easy, because she's lying. It's that
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah, like it seemed very well that she was sincere with her words when she was talking about how she was okay with Sai.
Yeah.
Sai even thought she was sincere with her words then, but then that fake smile is what got Sai to realize that even though her words do seem fully sincere, her smile shows that it isn't. So it's pretty obvious that even Kishimoto right now is telling us she doesn't trust Sasuke, but she knows that something's going to happen.
Yeah. And you know, there is without a doubt that she's lying about this.
Yeah.
It's without a doubt. Kishi put so much emphasis on it. He made her face, that smile, like what, half a page, almost a whole page huge.
Yeah, almost over.
There's so much detail in that one scene because it's like he wants to make the emphasis that no, Sakura is not gonna fangirl Sasuke from this point on. She has no reason to.
Yeah. And one more thing about it is that even in the chapter before, we got that one single panel of her probably staring at Sasuke in a very bad manner, in a very questioning manner of what he's up to. Right? So it just builds upon what happened the last chapter with her face.
Hey, Shadow. Oh wait, you don't have the DLC for Borderlands 2, do you?
Nah, I'm sorry.
The Dragon
You mean the
Keep?
Dragon Keep one?
No, the Mr. Torgs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Oh. Is it
Main
me,
Incarnate?
or is this guy gonna seem like he's gonna betray the out of you?
Mr. Torg's the best. He's in Dragon's Keep too.
Yeah. Voiced by the same guy who does Mr. Hercule in Dragon Ball Z, no doubt.
What do you think of that?
If I do remember, there was one quest on Assault on Dragon's Keep that I did that literally had your character running around for at least a half an hour, figuring out where to go, and in the end, all you had to do was slap some guy repeatedly 2 times. That was the entire quest. Like, that game sometimes, oh my god.
Yeah. And part of a map that was so freaking confusing.
Yeah, you saw that map too. It was like a maze. Yeah, that's where the quest was.
It's a side quest. It's not part of the main quest, so.
Yeah, it's not part of the main quest.
It's no.
Shoot me in the head! Shoot me in the head!
In the face! Shoot me in the face! Not the arm, not the chest, the face! Thank you! You shot him in the face.
The amount of sarcasm in that game, oh my god.
Mr. Tolkien, one question for you. Explosions? What were you talking about again? Oh yeah, NaruSaku. Mr. Torque supports NaruSaku! I don't know, I just wanted to say it.
He probably does.
Treating ladies with respect is totally bad.
If I'm being honest about a lot of the whole pairing things that people do, like the pairing wars, every time I've seen an argument, like I decided to not touch upon it because every time I see one based on other pairings, they seem to totally like not take into effect any of Naruto's emotions towards it. It seems to be only Hinata's emotions or Sakura's emotions that are very important in this subplot, other than Naruto's, right? So that's why I feel like I shouldn't touch upon it, because like a lot of people just read it because of their favorite character is this person and they want that person to accomplish this, right?
Yeah.
A lot of the people in America, for example, love Hinata's character. For the reason that they do, they want her to be with Naruto. So they don't really take into account Naruto's emotion because that doesn't really matter that much to them. Or they don't see it. I'm not sure of it, but that's what I've seen a lot of. Like, that's just the plain truth that, like, you can go check it out. It's there.
No, that no, you're completely right. You know how many times I've seen people post comments after like 632 where, he's like, "Oh, is this your girlfriend?" Yeah, sorta, kinda. Oh my god, Naruto betrayed Hinata. He's so evil. Okay.
Betrayed Hinata. Okay. Like when was his feelings towards Hinata ever romantic?
Yeah. And how could he betray someone he's never with?
Yeah, right. Like I don't know what a lot of people feel that love is, but love isn't truly built upon romance.
I wanna know what love is. I want you to
I
show
somehow had
me
a feeling you were gonna sing that.
what is love. Baby, don't hurt me.
Yeah, just letting you know I have to get going in like 10, 15 minutes. So
Alright. Well, we come to an end anyway. But before we go, I do
Alright.
have one final announcement. That is, next week there will be no podcast because I won't be here. I will be on vacation. So,
Ooh, vacation.
yeah, I'll be at the beach working on my tan. I'm in a speedo trying to tan my cheeks. Girl, look at that body. Girl, look at that body. So, any last words for the fandom? Final thoughts? Anything?
Honestly, the only thing that I have to say is just it's not even to the fandom. It's just be patient with everything. Everyone seems to rush emotions way too fast when taking arguments into this fandom. Everything that happens in one chapter portrays everything that's happened in all the previous chapters, right? To them, like that one chapter is the thing, right? There's nothing else that was to happen like 4 chapters ago that matters,
Yeah.
right? So I was like, just be patient with Kishi because a lot of people take his writing in a bad sense and don't realize everything else that he's been doing in the previous chapters. They read this manga chapter by chapter instead of a manga that's basically written volume by volume, right? So a lot of people get mad at him for that, and then I don't know. I sort of like his writings. I like what he's doing with it. And that's it. Just like be patient with him. Be patient with what he's doing. I'm pretty sure I enjoy the story if they do that.
Patience is a virtue.
Basically.
Shadow.
The smile is a
Nobody
lie.
cares. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Good.
Go ahead.
No, I just said everything. The smile is a lie.
So
That was a lie.
So was the cake.
Yeah. Anyway,
Well,
sit back, enjoy the ride. Don't think too deeply. The ship is sailing. So no need to worry.
sailing, jumping off the railing, drink
Oh God, please don't.
till the ship
Please
is
look.
sinking, gambling, stealing.
Miami stuck that song in my head. Please bring it back again. Please.
So if we all come together, we know what to do.
God.
I'm so
Good
mean.
God.
I'll just say what I always said throughout the entire podcast series. Just keep looking to the horizon.
We can see it now. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone.
We are no
yeah.
Backstreet Boys.
Actually, that's not Backstreet Boys. That's
I
from
know,
the
but I'm
movie
just
Ant.
saying, like bring all these people on the podcast and we all start singing.
Huh.
There are no Backstreet Boys, or
You have had many singers in this podcast.
thank God we're not One
Many.
Direction. All right.
Anyway, that and I did want to say something else, but I forgot. Darn it. Oh well, gonna have to save it.
Well, I've said my thing. Patience is a virtue.
JS Cassidy.
Shadow Wolf.
Arian.
Signing off. Till next week. Or the week after. Or whenever I bloody well feel like it. Hello, podcast fans. This is James S Cassidy again, but this time we're going to do something special just for you. We're going to do a Naruto Hoedown! Guess with me is For Life, Strider C, and Shadow Wolf.
Go.
Hey.
All right.
If you have hard of hearing, we'll put the lyrics up on the screen. If you don't have hard of hearing, we are terribly sorry for our singing.
I'll try to be as clear as possible.
Yes. This is to apologize for that mix-up on our podcast channel. We're sorry. Sorry.
Sorry.
I'm deeply sorry.
Sorry. I'm sorry, I couldn't.
Anyway, are we ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm ready.
3, 2. What?
Alright, you count down. Go ahead.
Count down or count up?
Count down, yeah.
All right. 3, 2.
Wait. When you said 1, that's when we press play, or what? Because
Wait.
One,
We
then
run
go.
on 3 or 3 and then run.
That's what I'm
On
thinking.
3, okay?
Okay.
It's on
Just
1.
count to 3. 1, 2, 3, and when you say 3, we press it. That's it.
Okay.
Gotcha.
On 3, press the button.
All right.
1. Stop it.
I'm sorry, dude. This is funny.
1.
I'll be honest. I can't keep my straight face right now. All right. Go.
All right. We all remember the order, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm first.
Okay.
I'm first.
1, 2, 3.
Ah. Naruto and Sakura together, they all win. I love every moment that they both are in. But you want to know something that's all about Team 7. I prefer it better if Sasuke were in heaven.
Naruto the manga is what I like to read. Though I do admit there is something I don't need. Pairing wars with fandoms are tough to fight with class. If they try that crap again, they'll get Rasengan in the ass.
Go!
NaruSaku pairing is my most favorite choice. When I talk about it, you hear it in my voice. I love it when they care with all the time they just. It's just very funny when she hits him with her fists.
Alright. For Sakura, he's been there, she's been there for him too. That's why NX makes so much sense while other pairs are good. When they discuss the benzene, together they will stick. And after all is said and done, he'll flips her with his tricks.
Sir with his
His
tricks.
tricks!